Hey guys, this is Lissa Chandler, and today I am going to show you some tips on getting vibrant colors in your photographs. I've never edited this photograph before, so we're just gonna go through it together. Okay. Alright, so I'm not going to edit this completely how I would if I were doing my own photographs. I think that might be a little too complicated to show the editing structure. So instead what I'm going to do is just take you step by step what I would do just to make it vibrant. Usually it's a little fancier, but for the purpose of the tutorial, I thought just showing you vibrant would be good. So here we go. All right. So for me, the first thing that's important to have a vibrant photograph is how you take the photograph. Exposure is a really interesting concept because it's not always going to be exactly the same every time. In this photograph specifically, we were in a creek. This couple had just gotten married an hour before and they wanted creek photographs for their wedding, which was amazing. So we took them down there, but as anyone who's ever been in a creek knows, especially if that creek is in a big forest, there were trees everywhere. And so it was really dark, even though there's the open space up here, it was really dark down at the couple. It wasn't too dark to shoot in, obviously, but because of this, I had to first off blow out the sky and then expose them a little bit darker than I would in a normal photograph if I had taken it, say, in a field or where there was a lot of sun somewhere. So they're a little darker in here, and because of that, I know that some photographers are a little worried when the photographs are dark that they're not going to be quite bright enough. But don't even worry about that because we can totally take care of it. So here we go. The first thing I'm going to do here is, even though it's already exposed, how I meant to expose it, I'm going to bump up the exposure in post. A little bit more. See here how they're just a little brighter. Then I'm going to take the contrast. The contrast is so important to vibrant photographs. So here we go. Boom. That seems like a ton of contrast, right? And it is a ton of contrast. But what we're going to do next is going to even that contrast out. So I'm going to go to the shadows and I'm going to lift them. That still keeps the contrast here, here, and here, but see how it changes their faces? Boom. This is shadows the same, shadows taken away. It makes that photograph lighter and a little bit softer while still keeping the pop. Because already with those two changes, look how different these two photographs are. Awesome. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is probably going to be a little confusing or maybe mind-blowing, who knows. But this is how I do it. What I'm going to do next is take down the highlights. I want to keep this detail. I want to keep it as vibrant as possible, but because contrast messes with lights and darks, what I'm going to do next is take down those highlights so nothing is too hot or too bright. So then we go, boom. Just a little bit right there. And right now we've evened out so much of that contrast. Okay, next thing we're going to do here, I might take a little bit more here and then take a little bit more right here, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is the most important step besides the contrast. I'm going to the vibrancy slider and I'm going to push that right there. See? Huge, enormous difference. Huge difference. I'll show you again. So we're right here. This is at 0. And if we go up to 0.48, that vibrancy is so different. So I think the 48 for this photograph is a little too intense. So I'm going to take it down to maybe 38, 39 and see how that looks. I like that way better. I feel like it still has all of the brightness and the excitement of the photograph, but it's not overpowering. Okay, so looking at this here, I really like it, but it still needs a little bit of balance. You'll find, if you ever hear me talk about editing, that vibrancy and, you know, that pop is all created from balance. If you don't have balance in your photographs, it's not going to work out. So, here we go. Take that black up a little bit, and then I'm going to push this again. I know I seem crazy, but sometimes the contrast ends up all the way on the right side. Okay, and I like that. Then we go down the curves right here, pull that down a bit. I'm going to boost the lights a little bit so it gets a little even brighter here and here. Take down some more highlights there. Now I'm going to straighten the photograph because it's a little not exactly how I want it to be. Maybe bring this up a smidge. Doesn't have a lot to do with the vibrancy, but whatever. All right, okay. I'm going to sharpen it a little bit. This photograph is sharp, but I sharpen things all the time in Lightroom. And then let's see. I don't have to do anything about chromatic aberration for here, but then I'm going to go down and I'm going to add a vignette. I love vignettes. I think they add so much to photographs. And yeah, they just kind of complete them for me. I feel like when they're not there, a lot of times the photograph can't be a standalone. And I know they are standalones, but in my work, I just really feel like vignettes really close it off nice and pretty. And that is how I would do a basic vibrant edit. All right, I'm going to do one more video where we're just a little bit trickier, but this is how it's done. It's just contrast, vibrancy, vignette. Those are the most important things along with balance. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks, guys.